Next on the agenda, comments from the public. Do we have any comments from the public?
Dear.
Would you stand and give your name, please?
Sure. I'm Crystal Schramm. I'm going to condense this, don't worry. I was concerned about what had happened. I guess it was at a game on Tuesday. I wasn't quite sure. I've been asking around. What I was told was that there was a threat on Tuesday by a student at a game. He said that he was going to put some weapons in like a banned instrument case, wear a trench coat to wear weapons inside it. He had a list of people he was going to shoot, and that he had a code word. He told that group of kids the code word. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Okay. Crystal, before we go on, I just want to make sure that you know you cannot legally...
I'm not going to say any names.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
So this happened. It was reported to, I believe, the coach. I don't know which coach, basketball coach, I assume, because they were concerned. Because from what I understand, he did then say that code, so then they were concerned.
I'm sorry, he what?
The student said the code word after he explained what he was going to do, said the code word. They were worried, went to the coach. So then, how I understand it, it was the next day that the students were pulled aside in the gym and told not to spread rumors, that it was just, he was joking.
Okay, I think I'm going to defer to Superintendent Viscount.
Okay.
I think she can tell you more about the investigation.
Yeah.
And so that you can see it. I think you're looking for a timeline, perhaps.
I want to make sure my timeline is your timeline and we're all on the same page. Because if my timeline's right, I'm unhappy. Because if it was reported to somebody on staff on Tuesday evening, that student walked into the school Wednesday morning, one of the parents said with, bags that didn't get checked by anybody, walked right in the building. Then, like I said, the students who had reported it got pulled aside, told don't facilitate rumors. And then that student nothing happened until after school that day.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. My concern was, why was that not considered a high threat? Because even if the staff didn't feel it was a concern, the kids clearly did. I mean, I was hearing all about it that day. So I think that even if we tell the kids, if you hear something, report something, that kind of didn't happen. So then my concern is, if this happens again and they feel that they're going to be pulled aside and told, hey, don't facilitate a rumor, what if they feel like, I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to say anything, and then something does happen. And my concern is, I understand it's a small town, we all know everybody, the thought might have been, that's not really going to happen. That's how this stuff happens.
Being from a small town has its advantages and disadvantages, and I believe that acting, they had to get past the rumors. Okay, and I think
Superintendent, I don't think it was really a rumor when the kids told a staff member that they were concerned, and I think that needs to be validated no matter what.
Right.
It was very detailed.
Okay.
It wasn't just like, oh, I might do this, or no, this is my plan. That's high level for me.
Okay, so
can I sit?
What?
Can I sit?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I also found out about this late Tuesday. I can assure you that the student in question's bags and locker were both checked.
Okay.
So at that point, we felt Wednesday. I mean, obviously there was nothing there. And then we continued investigating. So some students were questioned, tail end of Tuesday and then into Wednesday. So Wednesday's really when things got discovered and we were able to get the piece of evidence we needed. As far as the student piece, I know there was an assembly Wednesday where we brought the kids in and talked to them. And the message definitely somehow got muddied. because I did get some phone calls from a few parents saying students were told that they shouldn't say anything. So I
So
did.
students weren't pulled aside by the principals, like offhand, that it wasn't in the assembly, or were there?
Several students were interviewed over the course of
Okay.
time because,
Okay.
you know, when we did hear the ones, you know, like I heard, we were interviewing those as well because we were trying to find that person who's the first person who actually heard it, because that's when we know we've got the piece of evidence we need. But up until Wednesday, probably 2 o'clock, that's about when I got the piece of evidence we needed. I actually found the first line of communication.
Okay.
So, but prior to that, it was just, you know, I heard from somebody who heard from somebody, but we did follow those leads. Then the message, again, that happened in the auditorium, I do think some students didn't understand the whole rumor part, and they took it to mean we can never say anything. So I did talk to Mr. Crumpack about that. We brought them all in again and said, you know, listen, that wasn't the way the message was intended to come out. You know, we'll weed through the leads. But if it's just a bunch of gossip going around and there's no meat to it, then
I guess I just feel like if it was considered a high-level threat, which to me, like reading through the handbook and stuff, it fell under high-level threat. My concern is I don't understand why he was allowed to be at school the next day. I mean, I understand you were weeding through, but like in the meantime, like it, know or don't know, like, I mean, if he had something elsewhere, if he had something off-site, I mean, there's a million different options that he could have followed through with, you know, that makes me feel like him being at school scared a lot of kids. I mean, I've heard from parents and students, you know, they were scared. So.
right. I can just say we did check the bags the next morning, and at that point, you know, I mean, if you just look on, in general, rumors that go around, I mean, I would hate to, I mean, safety's important. But at that point, we didn't know if it was just a bunch of kids teasing each other in the locker room, or was there really anything to it? Because kids do make up things.
Well, they
and
do.
You don't know.
But
And
at this
until, like I said,
time-
until we found someone who could verify, and that was part of the message in there. Is like, if you have that firsthand information, please come to us. And still, and I can tell you, the student who is the one that I ended up getting it from still didn't even come forward.
Well, they were scared.
Right, I guess.
And
so,
that's, I guess
but-
that's my main concern, is that I don't think he should have been at school the next day. And yeah, kids say stupid things, but the fact of the matter is we've had way too many shootings. I mean, Jackson is where Katie used to go to school. You know, that was real close to home for us. We have friends that still live there. I would have never thought that it would happen there either. So I don't know. I just feel like there was a little bit of failure. I'm not trying to be a jerk. That's just how I feel. I think a lot of other people do too.
Okay.